Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are at the next topic and which is about sacrifices. We are very fascinated by the sacrifices, especially the queen sacrifice. So today I thought that let's take up this topic and let's see various cases, how and when the queen sacrifice should be considered, how and when the circumstances are such that when we should think of a queen sacrifice or how we can create them. So this is the position. I am taking some cases to show you how the sacrifice we should consider, when we should look for a sacrifice, what are the conditions. So gradually we will make the positions more and more difficult. So today I have got two cases. First one is easy, just to give you some idea, but there is some calculation involved. See, firstly we are talking about forced sacrifices where things will happen by force and it won't be a big trouble. Okay, let us see this position. It is white to play. We can see first condition is a very poorly placed black king, see, which doesn't have place. So when a side is looking for a sacrifice, bigger sacrifice, the king safety is usually a biggest concern. Secondly, we will see that apart from queen, the other pieces will be very active. Whenever the queen sacrifice happens, you will see that 2 or 3 pieces at least hovering over the king apart from the queen. Means as soon as the queen is given up, we make things forced. This is the third element. So king will be extracted and one after the other the remaining pieces will start unleashing its power or the checks. So these are some of the conditions. So king safety, other pieces participating and shattering the king's position by giving up the queen. So this is a typical such case. Black king has absolutely no place, and whenever the king has no place, the bigger sacrifice we make it, the brutal it is, the more effective it becomes, and it works generally. This is how I tend to think about the sacrifice. So let us see what are the sacrifices available here. See, there is rook f8, there is queen d7, and you will note that things are really forced in both cases. After see rook f8, nf8, unfortunately see knight c7, knight g7 doesn't work. So white quickly thinks in the line qd7, kd7 and see rook d1 check. The fifth piece actually joins into the attack, and see it's playing against the lone king. All we have to see is when we sacrifice the queen, most of the time the next move should be check, then again a check. This is our initial impression and this is what we should try to look at. So here see after qd7, kd7, rd1 check, and then we will see that king c8 or king e8. In both cases he gets mated. See, king has to go to e8, then rook f8 mates. kc8 is a slightly longer variation, but still the rook enters f8 delivering a mate. So let's play the moves. White went qd7, kd7, rd1 check. If k e8 as I said, rf8 mates. If the bishop is interposed, then to rook d4 check, kc8, rd8 mates instantly. So the best line is kc8, but even then see rf8, queen e8, re8, bk8, and whichever rook takes on d8, it's a checkmate. See the other pieces all the time. Whenever we make the sacrifice, see the activity of other pieces. Whatever positions we are considering today are a bit easy. In the next lesson, the positions will be way more difficult. Let's look at the next one now. Now we have the next position here, famous one. It's a long calculation position, but especially those who don't know this position, for them it will be a great fun. The idea what I am showing you, it will be reinforced. Now see, white to play here. White was trying to threaten mate on h7. Black's last move was qe7, so that if knight takes f6, then he will do gf and the queen would guard the h7 square. This was black's idea. As I said in the previous comments, see the position of the other pieces than the queen. You will see that both knights, the bishop, they are very active. Even if the queen is not there, we can try to pursue the king. See, firstly what we are going to do here, look at the maximum damaging check, that is the sacrifice check as I say, and see queen takes h7, which is the most brutal one here, which exploits the poor king position, and whenever we give the queen, next series of moves should be somewhat forced. So see qh7, kh7, nf6 check, double check. and if king h8 and g6 mate, this is the first impression which makes us think further. That is why when strong grandmasters are asked how far do you see, generally they say 3 to 4 moves. Why? Not because they just see 3 or 4 moves, but because 3 or 4 moves are enough to determine whether to see further or not. That is the main reason. So see, qh7 check, just to show you, king takes h7, knight f6 check. If the king goes to h8, then knight g6 mates. This is the one part of it, but before giving the queen, we need to see the move king h6. Those who cannot imagine the position, definitely they should try to place this position on the board, this king h6 position first, and then go back and set the starting position and try to solve it again. That will help improve the imagination of the positions. So now see, the fourth series of moves continue. See, knight on f6 guards h5, so knight e g4 check, king will have to come to g5, then see h4 check, king has to come to f4, g3 check. This is what one should try to calculate this way. See, all the moves are becoming forced. King is forced to come to f3, b2 check, kg2, and here is where many people miss the move. Here there are actually couple of moves possible. Let's see. Knight e4, kg5, h4, king f4, g3 check, kf3. See, b4 is not met. There is a bishop sitting on b7. So b2 check, kg2. Here castle is very strong. But see, more powerful is just to get to check, forcing kg1, and see both kd2 and long castle. It's a checkmate. See, the king extracted from g8 to g1. This is a typical king hunt, but only possible because white thought of the queen sacrifice. The queen here was sacrificed to force things. That is how we contemplate, we think of these ideas. And if we try to think this way every time, then eventually what will happen after doing 20, 30 or 50 positions, we will be able to think this way in our games. So that is the purpose of this lesson. I hope you are finding these lessons useful and instructive. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.